Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another recording of an ACMS process that is important to church treasurers. In this process, we are going to be looking at how to close the month, or how to close the week if you're on weekly cycle, or how to close the monthly cycle if you're on a monthly cycle. So, what we do is let's go to our income section here, look at the receipts. And right here on the screen, as you can see, we have week one, week two, week three, week four here. So these tabs here each represent a week, and you can see the dates. The week started on the 27th of January to February 2, and from February 3 to February 9, and from 10 to 16 February, and from 17 to 23 February. So I'm going to do just a few captures here, a few receipts to capture, and share just a little bit of receipting concepts that happen. So I'll give you the rare examples. For instance, we have received interest on our bank statement. We want to receipt that. What we do, we know that the bank is not a member, so we click on not yet a member, and we put the name of the bank. So let's say it's called ABSA, or your name of the bank, and you can say ABSA interest here, and this will help you to be able to just see, and when you check to see what could have happened with that transaction, and we press enter. The category that we use to record such items as interest or any other income that is not tithe offerings is called financial earnings. So if you type there 52, if you want, you can actually come and type 52, press enter. You will now have financial earnings there. If you press enter, it will now ask you, where are we putting these financial earnings you are recording of interest? So normally it would go to your church budget. In this instance, we have just one church budget account there. So we know that this is going to the church budget. If you're building, for instance, you have two bank accounts. One is the current account for the church. The other is the building call account or investment account. When you receive interest from those accounts, you need to make sure the interest ends up in the parent company of that project. So if it was building, would have gone over here and said this money is for interest for building money, so it must benefit the building department, so we put it there. But in this case, in our example, it's going to the budget, and normally it's small figures. Let's say 150 is the amount that you received. You save line, press enter again, you save line, and I think by now you now know if your case is in category there and there's nothing else selected. If you press enter, it will save the receipt. So if we scroll down a little bit, we see ABSA interest there has been recorded. And since I picked a cash batch, I'll just need to now also record the other side of the transaction. So I'll come over here and do the bank side of the transaction. There's my bank. Pick a date. This is in February 2019. So I'll come back here, pick on in February, and say maybe on the 21st we received that 150. So once I do this, I come in, I say interest, and then I click on save. And once I do this, my batch is balanced and everything is fine. I close. I could have also chosen, by the way, so that we just don't have any confusion, open a new batch, clicked on deposits and EFT transfers, because this is a bank transaction, so it will be faster for me to do it this way. I'll click on save there, open a new batch, and once I do this and the batch loads, I'm then able to just come and do one capture on one screen without doing the bank entry. So I'll just replicate the same transaction, come over here and say this is ABSA, is the giver, interest. Okay, press enter, and then it will say, of course, which bank. I'll say bank ABSA there. The date is okay. Then the description, I'll put here interest. So this is a combined entry. It will help us to be able to save some valuable time as far as recording this is concerned. So I come over here, and then I also do financial earnings here, 52, and then it will ask me which department. I know it's called budget. I'll just scroll my page up a little bit so that we can see. And we've put it into the budget, the local church budget, and the amount this time, let's say it was 300. And once we do this, and we save the line and then save the receipt, this entry will now also be posted to the bank. So if you come to batches over here and you come and you look on the record batch area, you'll find that this is already balanced because the 300 is also automatically captured on the bank side of our transaction. So this saves the treasurers a lot of time, and I would encourage those who are now not yet using it to please use it, because it will save you a lot of time, and we've seen the benefits of going this way. All right, so now let's come back to the main focus of our presentation today. We now have completed all the weeks of our capturing: week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And now we want to close this process so that the system can tell us how much we are supposed to pay to the mission or to the conference. We come and click calculate remittance. Ah, nice one. Look at that warning. It says all batches need to be closed. So do I have any open batches? I come and click over here. That's a very common issue right there. I'm very happy that it actually has happened during our presentation so that we can address it. So I'm going to look here. These ones are closed, so there's nothing there. Come here. These ones are closed. Come over here. These ones are closed. But the last two that I did, which are these ones, are not closed. So I'm going to close them so that I'm able to calculate remittance. So if you try to calculate remittance before you close the batch, the system will tell you that you have batches that are open. So now that my batches are closed, both of them need to be closed. When I come to say calculate remittance, this time I will have much more progress. And as you can see, I can see how much total was receipted in this month. The church funds are 65,000 rand, and the conference is getting 34,000, and some expenses were also recorded of 6,000. And what I'm remitting to the conference is this amount here. So if I click on remit, it will tell me your bank statements the same as they are in ACMS Treasury. If not, please click cancel and correct. But if everything is balanced, click OK. So this is an opportunity for us to catch something that's very important. So I'm going to cancel here and just explain it quickly. What we encourage you as the treasurer to do is to make sure that all of your bank transactions have been captured in ACMS. So those who are using online banking, which I hope most of us are, you can get an electronic copy of your bank entries. Make sure that everything that's on that statement is also in ACMS. Once you do that, and every entry is there, including the bank charges, the bank interest, everything has been captured, you are then ready for this next step. If you haven't done that, this is a good place to catch it and to deal with it before it makes your life a little bit difficult. Because once you calculate the remittance, you have closed the month. You can no longer open any new batches in that period. You are now going to deal with the next month. So this is exactly why this is very important. So now I'm going to click again. Oh, by the way, before I click there, if you have any expenses that you need to capture, you can come and click over here on capture expenses, and it will help you to look at the expenses that you have captured and see if everything has been entered correctly. And if there's still a problem, you see, oh, I missed something. You come to expenses here and then do the actual capturing of those expenses, and it will make your life easy. So now we are ready to remit. Our expenses are in, our income is in, the bank statement is balancing. Everything that's on the bank statement is also in our ACMS ledger. Once this is done, we click OK, and guess what? The system now produces a remittance report. If we click on this remittance report, it will quickly come open up. It will show you the batches that were processed, the total of the batches, and then it will also show you a very important line here. This line is very important. Let me just make it bigger so that those who are not seeing fluently can see it fluently. This line is very important. It says the clearing account with the conference had 34,000 that needs to be paid. The conference had, if there was any amount that was at the conference, owing as well at the conference, it will show here. And then if there are any unverified payments, they'll also show over here. And this is the total amount that you need to pay to the conference. Also written here in very plain, straightforward language, remittance to pay. All right. So I've seen people who say, no, this is not important. We pay with what we collected. Let me just give you a quick explanation why this report is more important than the monthly summary report. Why is it important? So here is the explanation. This report will help you reconcile. If, for instance, last month or last week's remittance was under, this will automatically reconcile and tell you the correct amount to pay so that your clearing account with the conference or mission is at zero. If you don't use this report and you use your own, I mean the monthly summary report, you run a risk of running a balance in your monthly remittances and being misaligned with the remittances to the mission. So I would advise us to please let us use this remittance payment because it auto balances. Another example which some conferences are now using, we have this wonderful app called 7Me where members are able to remit their own trust funds and offerings and tithes. If you use that system, the money is sent to the conference. And the system will automatically tell the church treasurer, don't worry about the money that we have already received. Just send us this balance that is now remaining. But if you use the monthly summary, you actually are going to double pay or overpay your remittance to the mission. So this one protects you as treasurer and the church from overpayment of trust funds to the mission. So I advocate that we use this one. It will make our lives much, much better. All right. So now we have seen how much we need to pay. We can now do the payment of that remittance and send and you can, if you want, you can even send that to the mission, no problem. But there's this new button that has now popped up, this orange button. You are now able to also record your payment of trust funds. This helps the mission, especially in missions where we are understaffed. This really comes in handy because the church treasurers are telling us how much they have paid. So over here, we pick the bank account of the conference that we have paid to. We put the description and the amount that we have paid, and we tell the system we took this money from which bank account did we take this money from? So in this case, it's our church bank account. It's the bank 18, which is the APS account. And once we click on save, this entry will now be captured as a remittance and it will clear our clearing account with the conference, number one, and it will also reduce our bank. So this is very critical. I just want to show you where this clearing account is. If you come on the home screen over here, you will see that there is a clearing account. Here we go. So this is the clearing account with the conference. It shows that we are owing 34,800, which is exactly what the remittance that we need to send to the mission or to the conference. So this is how we conclude the monthly entries for the local church and pay the mission or conference their trust funds. I hope this was a good video for you and it was easy for you to follow. Please share your comments and your feedback. Contact me if there's anything that's not clear. I will be happy to redo and explain any sections that were not clear to you. Thank you so much for watching and I hope it will help us all. Have a good day.